He Man is one of those shows that everyone remembers loving, but very few people have actually rewatched it. I did, I had some fun with it, but once you do rewatch it, the illusion it cracks pretty quickly. The show is way more nostalgia than it is quality, to be honest, but that doesn't automatically make it bad. He Man and the Masters of the Universe gets a solid 6 out of 10 from me. I enjoyed it, and I don't give it a 6 out of 10 because it's secretly great television, it's not. But because it knew exactly what it was trying to be, and it never pretended to be anything else. For anyone who didn't grow up with He-Man, He-Man is almost aggressively simple. He's a really simple dude. Prince Adam, who lives in Eternia, looks permanently bored, and when trouble shows up, well, he just raises his sword and he shouts, "By the power of Grayskull." And then suddenly he's He-Man, the strongest man in the universe. And on the other side, we have an amazing villain, Skeletor. He's a skull-faced villain who lives on Snake Mountain, and well, he spends every episode trying to take Castle Grayskull so he can rule everything. Great premise. That's pretty much the whole show. Skeletor comes up with a plan, it almost works. He Man shows up, throws something heavy, and Skeletor retreats screaming. Sometimes we have a side quest, sometimes someone doubts themselves, but the outcome it's never really in question. It's comfortably repetitive, to be honest, and I didn't mind. I enjoyed it. It's like a Saturday morning ritual where you already know how it ends, and I think that's kind of the point of the whole show. But let's not sugarcoat this. He Man is basically an extremely long toy commercial. He Man only exists because Mattel wanted to sell toys. And once you accept that, once you see that, suddenly a lot of this TV show makes sense. The endless cast of characters, the gimmicky villains, and the constant introductions, it all makes sense. Characters like Trapjaw, Beastman, even a character called Stinkor. Like, really? We have Ram Man, Many Faces, and these aren't characters first, let's be honest. They're just action figures with personalities glued on later. The show isn't ashamed of this. It proudly parades new designs across the screen, like, "Here, kids, ask your parents for this one for your next birthday or for the next Christmas." And I think it's fine. Even by early 80s standards, the animation is, well, rough, to be honest. There are entire fight animations reused dozens of times. I mean, He Man lifting something heavy, it's reused. He Man throwing a rock, reused. He Man punching a wall, reused. And once you notice it, the illusion of the show is gone. You'll start recognizing moves before they happen. It's like watching wrestling reruns. There are episodes where He Man throws the exact same punch 3 times in different locations. Does it ruin the show? Well, not for kids. For adults rewatching it, yeah, I don't know, kinda, maybe. It definitely sticks out. It definitely sticks out for real. But the real star of the show is Skeletor. If He-Man works at all, it's because Skeletor is endlessly entertaining. Like, for real, he is. He's not just evil, he's theatrical. I mean, you gotta watch the episodes like Diamond Ray of Disappearance, or The Problem with Power, or even The Dragon's Gift. Skeletor will, deliver a dramatic monologue, blame Beastman for no reason, get furious, basically lose his shit, shake his fists, and scream. And somehow it never gets old. It's pretty entertaining, to be honest. I mean, the guy is petty, he's loud, he's emotional, and unlike He-Man, he actually reacts to failure, and that personality is doing a lot of work. He-Man himself, well, he's kind of dull, boring even. He's the uncomfortable truth. He-Man is not very interesting. He's always right, he's always powerful, never really challenged, and once Prince Adam transforms, well, all the complexity disappears. He-Man doesn't struggle with doubt, he doesn't make mistakes, he doesn't grow. Problems don't escalate, they just evaporate. The show never asks, what if He Man can't win? It just asks, how long until he lifts something heavy? And once you've seen about 5 episodes, well, honestly, you've seen them all. Take episodes like Tila's Quest or Ordeal of Many Faces or Into the Abyss, even. They all follow the same rhythm. Introduce a threat, side characters doubt themselves, Skeletor causes chaos, He-Man intervenes, and we have a lesson learned. It's predictable, but predictability was the goal of the show. This wasn't meant to be binged. It was meant to be watched once a week, half paying attention, cereal in hand. Of course, it's a kids show. And the moral lessons are surprisingly sincere, to be honest. This is why He-Man earns some real respect, in my opinion. Those, end of episode moral lessons, they're not ironic, to be honest. They're not cynical. He-Man looks directly at the camera and talks about honesty. He talks about responsibility, listening to adults, and he talks about self-control. Is it cheesy? Absolutely. But it's also earnest, and that sincerity, it is rare. It is genuinely cool to see. The show genuinely wanted to be, good for the kids, and I appreciate that. Now, Eternia is more interesting than the script really allows, It's despite the repetition, the world of Eternia, it's genuinely cool. I mean, we've got Castle Grayskull, awesome. We've got Snake Mountain, amazing. We even have tech fantasy landscapes, not sure what to call it, but it looks great. And characters hinting at deeper lore, all very interesting. The episode Into the Abyss, for instance, it teases darker ideas like ancient evils, lost dimensions, and even forbidden power. But the show never slows down long enough to explore them. It's like the world building is better than the writing budget. And here's the honest reason He-Man survives. If you grew up with it, watching it again feels like opening an old toy box. The music, the designs, the voice acting, it just triggers your memory. That's what it does. If you didn't grow up with it, you're probably wondering why this became such a big deal. You probably won't even like it. So, the final verdict for He Man, I think He Man and the Masters of the Universe is not secretly brilliant television. It is repetitive, it's cheaply animated, really honestly, it is. It's shamelessly merch driven. But on the other side, it's also sincere, memorable, and culturally iconic. So, yeah, a 6 out of 10, I think that's a good score for this show. More nostalgia than quality, but hey, nostalgia still counts. That's just my take on the TV show. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye bye.